Now available on Tata Sky channel number 526.
Hello and welcome to the Property News. You're watching Magic Bricks Now, India's first property channel. I'm Suesha Sawant. Let's take a look at the top headlines of this hour.
No, it is an act of God, because out of the 70% we have completed.
Man-made tragedy claims 14 lives, leaves several injured. An under-construction flyover collapsed in Kolkata. Builders say it was an act of God, while politicians are busy politicking. Who will take responsibility for this urban death trap? In Delhi, the Supreme Court ban on diesel vehicles continues. Cab owners get 1 more month to switch to CNG engines. The Apex Court, however, agrees to consider the ban on diesel vehicles. The centre asked the BMC to shut the Deonar dump in 3 months, but Mumbai's civic body has no plan in place. The BMC, though, will have to submit a report to the Environment Ministry within the next 10 days. Also on the show, our ongoing series Water Woes, where we take stock of what is possibly turning out to be the most difficult summer India has faced in recent times. With rains having played truant last monsoon, most cities across the country are grappling with an unprecedented water crisis. Today we focus on one of India's hottest property markets, Thane. Big tragedy in Kolkata, over 14 killed and several injured after an under-construction flyover collapsed. Now, rescue operations are underway and the army has stepped in to bring the situation under control. But this has once again highlighted the urban death traps across the country. In this particular tragedy, the contract for this flyover was handed over in 2009 with a deadline of 18 months. 7 years on, the flyover was still under construction and clearly there were no checks in place to ensure not just that the contractors met the deadline, but also that necessary safety regulations were in place.
सवेरे क्या हुआ था मैं बोल नहीं पाऊंगा। जब सवेरे मैं जब यहाँ से आया, मेरा दोस्त मुझे फोन किया तो देखा कि यहाँ पे पूरा गिरा हुआ है ब्रिज। फिर पुलिस आने में थोड़ा लेट हुआ है, तो उस समय हम लोग सब मिल के सब ब्रिज का जितना पुलिस को हेल्प कर सकते हैं वही कर रहे हैं। अभी जो स्थिति है, नीचे कम से कम 200 और 300 आदमी फंसा हुआ होगा। देखते हैं कितना जन को हम लोग ठीक कर पाएंगे।
Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee was seen cutting a sorry figure. She promptly blamed the opposition for the tragedy. Take a look.
The Hyderabad-based company, they had first escaped from their companies, ma'am, and then they have now issued a statement saying it's an act of nature, trying to wash out their hands, ma'am. Will you pursue any action against the company, bestowed with the responsibility?
This is a very serious incident, and I think government will take all proper action, stringent action. So many people have died. Do you think that it's a casual matter?
Yes,
it's not a routine matter. It's a serious matter. When they are working, they should not be. They should not They should not do the negligence, or negligence is also a crime.
Do you call it absolute negligence, ma'am?
No, I cannot say because it depends on inquiry. The inquiry experts committee, they will inquire all the details and will take all strong action also. But don't say that this is a casual incident and all this.
They called it casual incident.
No, it is. We don't agree.
Ma'am, also one last question, ma'am. You also said that this contract was given in 2008 and they lacked proper documents.
2007.
2007.
Now I came to know that 2007. They started working in 2009 or something.
Okay. Ma'am, you're overseeing the entire rescue and relief operation, ma'am. There had been people trying to play politics. What could be your message to them?
Now, please, I am busy with this rescue relief operation. Let the rescue operation is over.
Can you please confirm the numbers, ma'am?
Yes, right now, till now, it is 15 died.
So one more person has died, ma'am?
15 died, whatever we rescued. And maybe 50% are injured. We are giving all necessary help to injured persons also. That if their family members also wants to give them the good hospitals, even if they see that there are so many big nursing homes also. So we are accommodating all everywhere.
And you will be here all throughout?
Yes, let me.
Thank
this
you
is
so
my
much for
first
speaking
job.
with
Government blaming the opposition there. Also, our reporter caught up with the builder responsible for the construction of the flyover. He says it was an act of God that led to this tragedy. Listen in.
No, it is an act of God because out of the 70% we have completed, 69 spans without any problem it is completed. And each and everything which is going through a tough process of checking from the consultant, from clients, then KMDA, Kolkata Metropolitan Development Authority, they are checking and each and everything it is crossing. It is totally act of God. We are shocked to know that how it has instance has occurred after 70% of the work is completed. And this after 16 span, this is a 70th span it has happened like that. And even many of our employees are also in that. And presently we are in the state of shock to understand that kind of thing. And they are totally crowded and even our people do not have access to the exact incidents whatever it has happened as of now.
Very sad indeed. Moving to Delhi. Delhi can breathe easy for some more time now. The Supreme Court continued its ban on registration of diesel vehicles above 2000cc engines in Delhi NCR. The court also indicated it could consider allowing Delhi diesel vehicles to apply for a fee. Listen into this report that my colleague Deepa Rana sent in after the hearing.
The Supreme Court today has continued its ban on the registration of diesel vehicles in the Delhi NCR region. Remember that last time in January, the Supreme Court had upheld NGT's order in which they had banned the registration of diesel vehicles in the Delhi NCR region. Now, this time, the taxi owners had approached the Supreme Court and had asked for an extension on the diesel run cabs in the Delhi NCR region, and the Supreme Court has provided an extension to the cab owners to convert their diesel run taxis into CNG, and a 1 month extension has been given to them, which means that there's a time till April 30th that the Supreme Court has given to them. An important thing to note here is that the bench headed by Chief Justice of India T.S. Thakur has also talked about that the court may lift the ban on the diesel vehicles provided if the car manufacturers come up with an environmental compensation charge which is going to be 25 to 30% of the vehicle's cost. In fact, the Supreme Court has taken a cue from the centre, which had earlier cleared the use of diesel vehicles on the SPG vehicles and the government vehicles as well.
All right, now Deepa also caught up with Anumita Roy Chaudhary, Executive Director, Centre for Science and Environment, and asked her about the impact of this Supreme Court decision. Listen in.
I have been joined by Miss Anumita Roy Chaudhary, Executive Director, CSE. Ma'am, thanks a lot for talking to Magic Picks. Now, today a landmark judgment really once again. Now, there are two major things that have happened in the Supreme Court. I want you to tell us what exactly were the two headlines.
I think a very crucial message that has come from the court today is the fact that the current ban on 2000cc engine diesel cars will continue till the time they come back with a formula on how to impose environment compensation charge on all diesel cars, for the simple reason that diesel cars pollute more, diesel emissions are more toxic. But the very big, and that's really the landmark, is the fact that the government of India has agreed to pay 30% environment cess on diesel cars that they are buying for SPG, the Special Protection Group. Now, that's a very important statement to make. It sets a very good precedence that it's an application of polluter pay principle, that polluting vehicles will have to pay an environment cess. So I think that has really set the trend for the future.
Ma'am, once again, the Supreme Court has given 1 month's extension to the CNG cars, to the diesel cars to convert into CNG, and the individual taxi drivers and the cab drivers are complaining that not everyone is financially, sound enough to actually convert it into a CNG in 1 month's time. Do you really think that this can work in a period of 1 month? And also, apart from Delhi, there are other metros like Mumbai and Pune where this problem is existing, and we've been talking about it earlier as well. How do you see a solution in the near future?
So, the point is pretty well made that we cannot have diesel and especially Delhi NCR, which is the most polluted segment in the world. So this is a low emission zone. So you will really need this kind of stringent action. Now, for that, court has been pretty sensitive to the idea, and they have given them another month to convert. The other question that overall for the country, so what Delhi is doing today has really created a very good template for the rest of the country to follow. It gives an opportunity to all other cities of the country to come up with their own cleaner action plan and take a leaf from the learning curve that we're beginning to see here. Now, this is confined within NCR because the ambit of the court case is NCR. But we would certainly hope that the governments in other parts of the country will also respond to the public health crisis that we are facing today and take the same stringent action.
While Delhi is trying to keep the air clean, there's not much happening in Mumbai. BMC has no plan in place for Deonar yet. The civic body is waiting for the consultant's report to come in before coming up with a roadmap to shut down the garbage dump. This comes after Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar directed BMC Chief Ajoy Mehta to shut down the dump in 3 months. My colleague Aishwarya is standing by with the details. Listen in.
Finally, Centre has said that enough is enough and they have taken charge in the Deonar dumping ground case. In a recent meeting in which Ajoy Mehta was told by the Centre that the BMC should give out a plan in the next 10 days and this plan should have short-term, medium-term and long-term measures in place so that Deonar dumping ground should be shut down. The Centre also says that they expect this ground to be shut down in the next 3 months. Now, the only problem here is that currently BMC has no plan, no immediate plan of action in place. They are still waiting for TCS report to come out. This report is expected to come in the next 1 month's time. So only after TCS gives them a report on what should be done with the current garbage that is lying at Deonar will things actually start moving forward.
All right, Aishwarya, thank you so much for joining us with those details. Now, to tell us more about this matter, we are joined by Rais Sheikh, BMC's corporator. Mr. Sheikh, thank you so much for joining us here on Magic Bricks Now. Tell us firstly about BMC's immediate plan of action. Is there any plan in place to handle this havoc?
I'm really surprised that the national leadership of the country, especially the Environment Minister, has made a statement that we should close Deonar in 3 months. I would be the most happiest person if Deonar was closed today. But without a plan, it is impossible. I think Mr. Javadekar has just created some sensation by saying that the BMC does not have any plan. What do you do with 9,500 metric ton? Mr. Javadekar, you answer us. If you're saying shut Deonar, where do you take the garbage? Shut Deonar, I'm very happy, but also tell us the plan. BMC does not have a plan. We don't have a land where we can dump. We don't have plants. 3 months, there is no magic wand that you can, move and say that, okay, go and dump over here.
Right, Mr. Sheikh, immediately there is no plan in place. But how should the corporation go forward to tackle this menace? Tell us, how much time will it take for the corporation to really tackle this problem on the larger level?
We've just acquired 38 hectares and we need a huge land. So the entire process of acquisition should take another year if the best resources are applied. After that, we need to build an infrastructure. There are issues like tipping fees that the government is asking for dumping in the land which is owned by the state government. Then there are transportation issues and the cost of transportation. Setting up a plant, getting a vendor or an agency to do it, calling for tenders, everything will take more than 2 to 2.5 years to actually start work over there.
A long way there. Thank you so much, Mr. Sheikh, for joining us here on Magic Bricks Now. The Maharashtra government has come up with ready reckoner rates. These rates are the market rates set by the government as the benchmark. Now, Mumbai was expecting a rate hike of up to 10%. My colleague Ruchi Deshpande is standing by with all the details.
The Maharashtra government has come out with its ready reckoner rates for this year. Now, they will come into effect tomorrow, that is from the 1st of April. The city that has seen the maximum rate increase in Maharashtra happens to be Kolkata, which has seen an increase of, which has seen a ready reckoner rate of 7.8%. Following that is the capital, that is the city of Mumbai, that has seen a ready reckoner rate of 7%. After that, we have Navi Mumbai that has seen a ready reckoner rate of 4%. The same is at 6% for Thane, 5% for Kalyan, 6% for Pune, and for Virar it is 3%. Now note that we told you earlier at Magic Bricks Now that Mumbai or the MMR region was expecting a ready reckoner rate beneath, under 10% or up to say between 2% or 5%, but that is not the case. It now stands at a 7%. Essentially, what the Maharashtra government has done compared to what it did in 2015 was to reduce the increase in the ready reckoner rate, which means that, for example, in Mumbai, it was 15% in 2015, while the same this year for Mumbai stands at 7%. So what does this mean for you and me as a developer? We will get to know once we know if there has indeed been a reduction in the rates, which will also translate into for the customer in case you wish to buy property in Mumbai.
But Ruchi, also tell me, at a time when prices are already high in Mumbai and people are finding it difficult to buy homes, how do you think will it have an impact in terms of prices, and how will home buyers really take it?
So, in case there would have been an actual reduction in the ready reckoner rates, this rate essentially means the market rate that has been set by the government as a benchmark for builders. So, in case the builders want to go in for extra or incentive FSI from the government, it has to pay that ready reckoner rate to the government. And in case there has been an increase in that, the builder may load on this cost onto the project and onto you as a consumer, which means that you as a consumer will have to pay more in case they increase the ready reckoner rates. But we don't know for sure if this is the case in Mumbai. Like I said before, there has been a reduction in the amount that was set in 2015 compared to the amount, there was an increase, the reduction in the amount this year, that is of 7% in Mumbai versus the amount that was set in 2015. So there has been a reduction in the increase in the ready reckoner rates here.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, Ruchi. Let's now move on to our ongoing series, Water Woes. India is on the brink of one of the worst water crises in modern times. Across the country, cities do not have enough water to last the next couple of months, creating a crisis that drastically impacts our quality of life. It was on Tuesday where we at Magic Bricks Now kick-started special series Water Woes and focus on cities like Bengaluru and Pune. Today, we'll take a look at the Thane market, one of the country's hottest property markets, which is also grappling with water shortage. My colleague Disha Shah gets us this ground report.
Life at the Bedekar household in Thane over the last few months has revolved around water. Waiting for the supply from the corporation and scrambling to stock the scarce liquid in every available container, including their washing machine. The Bedekars' home does not get municipal water supply 3 days every week, in line with water cuts imposed by the Thane Municipal Corporation. On days when there is water supply, Rasika, a working woman, has to get up at the break of dawn just to stock enough water to last the week.
So I have to fill all buckets and do water-related works, such as washing utensils, washing clothes, bathing, all related I have to do in a span of just 2 hours in the morning. So I have to get up at 4:30 and then only I can leave by 7 for work.
So how bad is the situation in Thane? The city gets only 290 million liters of water per day. Its daily requirement, though, is 480 million liters of water. The situation has become so grim that the city of Lakes has only 3 months of supply left in stock. In fact, in areas like Ghodbanda Road and Pokhran, it is commonplace for housing societies to borrow water from each other.
कभी हमारे बिल्डिंग में पानी नहीं रहेगा और दूसरा का बिल्डिंग में पानी रहेगा ना, तो हमारा बाल्टी या तपेला वगैरह सब लेके दूसरों के घर में जाके भरते हैं, दूसरे बिल्डिंग में जाके वही भर के रखते हैं ना, उसमें से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा पानी लेके बर्तन के लिए देते हैं, फिर कपड़ा धोने को देते हैं। खाली मेन जो कपड़ा है वही धोने को बोलते हैं भाई को, बाकी ऐसा ही रखते हैं 3 दिन का कपड़ा।
Residents have changed their lifestyle and routines to cope with the crisis. Most have stopped using showers. The washing machine is utilized to store water. And clothes are washed twice a week. And of course, residents are stretching their household budgets and chipping in for water tankers. They are now demanding long-term solutions to this crisis.
The water which is distributed or given to the nearby amusement parks and water parks and all that needs to be stopped, at least till we have our regular water supply from the rains. Apart from that, it would be nice if a permanent solution is found out. We would definitely, if asked by the commissioner, we would definitely give our suggestions.
Most of the housing societies have taken own measures, for instance, by getting water tankers in their respective societies, and of course this comes at a cost, and the cost is they shell out minimum 10,000 rupees per month to get water tankers in their societies to ensure that there is enough water. On top of this, most of the housing societies have also ensured that there is one water pipe which is connected to the kitchen area, where borewell water can be used for kitchen purposes or for some cleaning purposes. But citizens say that this is not what they deserve. They say that water is the basic necessity and the need of the hour, and the corporation should take some concrete solutions on ground to tackle the water crisis problem that the city has been facing for quite some time.
It sounds ironic, but the city of Lakes is not facing a water crisis for the first time. Summer water cuts are routine, and most households have invested in tanks to store water. What has changed, however, is the magnitude of the crisis. Residents who are now grappling with 3-day-long water cuts say that this was a problem they had highlighted to the civic body 3 months ago. In Thane with Disha Shah, Kavita Krishnan for Magic Bricks Now.
That's 10,000 rupees a month only to get water. Well, now, my colleague Disha also caught up with Sanjeev Jaiswal, Thane Municipal Commissioner, who spoke at length on the corporation's plans to tackle the water crisis problem in the city. Listen in.
We have taken up, a major drive in terms of new bore wells, obviously subject to the availability of groundwater. And till date, if I'm not mistaken, roughly around 150 or 200 bores roughly have been taken up fresh. Regulations in terms of the private tankers that are applying, or that, to be very honest, is not a very satisfactory element till now, for the simple reason that getting a centralized regulation in that would need a lot of policy decisions, but we are trying to see that even the market of the tankers, as far as the private rates are concerned, is under control or under some sort of a restraint. We are also trying to work on, in fact we have already spoken to the counterparts in the irrigation department, and Bhimandi water supply scheme, they have certain reservation from Bhatsa Dam, which position is slightly better. And we are seeing that we have given a proposal saying that Thane Municipal Corporation, because Bhimandi does not have the processing provisions or the plant in place as far as WTP is concerned. So our existing WTP at Temgarh, we have volunteered to say that we will process the water, treat the water, and maybe that whatever is the excess water that we get, that can be distributed amongst Mira Bhayandar, Bhimandi, Thane, and the rural parts of Bhimandi and Thane. As a medium-term measure, definitely we have, like for Kalwa was one pocket where, there was a long-standing demand of certain remodeling to be done. We had submitted a proposal in the JNURM, but it was approved, but finance was not released for whatever the reasons. The corporation has just taken a policy decision that this work will be taken up by the corporation from its own fund, roughly 25 crores. And we have already allotted the work order. Agency has been finalized, so this work should start. But obviously the relief in terms of this scheme would only be there maybe in the next monsoon. For long-term measures, the corporation has already submitted a remodeling and the distribution network to be laid for the parts of Ghodbandar and Mumra and all that under Amrut schemes. It has been submitted, and I'm hopeful that in the due course of time the same shall be approved. Once we do that, then definitely the water situation in the city shall improve. There was a proposal for having a new storage dam at either Shahi Prakal and Kalu Prakal. So one of the two should be taken up, so that there's the funding cost aspects, who's going to finance and all that. But now we are really seriously viewing this, so that not only for Thane but for the other corporations in the MMR area, they get some relief through this new source. Obviously it takes 3 years or 5 years to construct it, but if all the decisions are taken in time, then I'm hopeful that this could really see the light of the day.
Now, a quick programming reminder before we wrap the show. India's water crisis has worsened this year, and as usual, authorities responsible for our waterless plight are busy passing the buck. We at Magic Bricks Now have begun a nationwide campaign to make the authorities accountable. Join our campaign for the fight for water. You can call us, write to us, tweet out on our hashtag #WaterWoes, send us pictures, even selfies, and we'll make your voice heard. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Property News on Magic Bricks Now. Thank you so much for watching.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.